Badlands. Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Consider myself a conspiracy buff at all, but when they get a lot of coincidences, I get a little suspicious and call me crazy.
Polls, weird talk shows, crazy groups every Sunday telling you what you think.
The Republicans and the Democrats conspire with one another, which they do.
There is a conspiracy by big business against American democracy.
We know that there was a conspiracy.
There was a conspiracy.
There was no conspiracy.
Was there a conspiracy?
A communist conspiracy directed out of Moscow.
The right-wing conspiracy.
Communist conspiracy is a deliberate and predictable plan of action to subvert the world.
Right-wing conspiracy.
International criminal conspiracy.
Vast right-wing conspiracy.
Great conspiracy.
There are all these conspiracy theories.
Was there a conspiracy? I don't know.
Perhaps themselves even involved in the conspiracy.
There was a conspiracy.
No evidence
of a conspiracy.
Anybody would have to be a fool nowadays to dismiss conspiracies.
Conspiracy theory.
Cockeyed conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theory exists because there really is conspiracy.
But they never told a soul about it. In fact, they engaged in a vast conspiracy.
You get accused of being a conspiracy theorist, of being a paranoid.
The historical context of actual conspiracy.
A conspiracy of bad people.
As always happens at some point in a conspiracy. One night, Cousin Eddie got drunk in a honky-tonk and spilled the beans.
There was a conspiracy, and government was involved in it.
Conspiracy existing within the United States government.
There was a conspiracy.
A
conspiracy by the CIA.
The conspiracy of a few.
Dark, secretive, conspiratorial, evil.
Then it was certainly a deliberate conspiracy.
High-level conspiracy.
The do's and the don'ts and the rights and the wrongs of the various conspiracy theories that are good.
Possibility of a conspiracy. In a moral sense, I think it was a conspiracy.
One conspiracy, that's all I'm talking about.
Full of speculation, conspiracy theories, and the like.
And what's going on here? You began to wonder what was really happening in America. I mean, was there a vast conspiracy afoot?
You know, there could have been a conspiracy.
Do you think you're obsessed with conspiracy?
Conspiracy theory.
A conspiracy.
I'm afraid you'll catch me. I'm afraid you'll catch me.
A conspiracy would do the job nicely.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to your favorite Monday night show, Baseless Conspiracies, here on Badlands Media. Zach, how are you doing, sir? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. Got a chance to relax. That was pretty nice.
Nice.
That's about it. Yeah.
I wonder what that's like.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really nice. Yeah.
That's good. I had a pretty busy weekend. I had the kids. Had a lot of what I've been calling my homework that I had to do.
Yes.
Work on that, but yeah, it's good. It's Monday. It wasn't a terrible Monday. A lot of weird stuff today. It feels like, which I think we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
some of the weird. Do you think we're going to shut down?
I am hoping against hope that we're going to shut down.
Gosh, me too.
You know, I mean, tomorrow is it, right? I mean, like tonight they were not able to come to an agreement. From what I understand, the Democrats are still digging their heels in on $1.5 trillion in just bullshit spending. And, you know, they almost got there. They needed like one Democrat vote in the Senate. So we are a lot closer than we were yesterday. But yeah, there's a significant chance that tomorrow somebody is just going to pussy out and they're going to go ahead and vote with the Republicans because they don't want to be part of a group that is said to be shutting the government down. But good Lord, I want it to happen so bad.
Me too. I don't expect it to actually happen, but I do feel like this is the closest we've been. We're getting like contingency plans from all the different agencies, which is exciting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right. I think somebody's going to cave, but maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, then we're going to have another opportunity in like a month and a half.
7 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
Cross your fingers.
But the stupid thing is like the whole thing is it's political theater. Like right now, like, oh, it's going to be Schumer shut down trade market or whatever.
Yeah.
So stupid. Nobody cares. You guys, nobody cares whose fault it is. It's all one big party. See the uniparty.
I think the Democrats actually do care just a little bit. Like if they receive the blame for it, then, you know, there is, I feel like they are perpetually obsessed with the perception that the voters have. And as long as they can manipulate and twist it just a little bit so that there is a narrative they can spin, you know, they feel comfortable, they feel safe. But in this instance, I mean, the narrative is pretty bad in their favor. I mean, as many people as want the government to shut down, there are a lot of people I see out there, you know, saying exactly what you just said, you know, like, oh, if the government shuts down, don't forget it'll be the Democrats' fault. Hardworking Americans want the government to stay open. Like, if you understand what could happen if the government actually shut down, I just don't believe that anybody could realistically want the government to actually stay open. Because
this is the stupid thing. They always say, well, I have a couple comments. One, I don't actually believe like the poll numbers, and you know the Democrats don't believe it either. Like, I don't think they care about public perception like they pretend to.
Okay.
But you know, I could see they have to be able to sell that they're going to steal seats in the elections, right? They have to be able to sell it.
Yeah.
But they're always like, oh, if we get a shutdown, it's going to hurt hardworking Americans all over the country. A government shutdown just means the government stops working.
Yeah.
So it's going to hurt government employees. Yes. And I'm sure there are a few hardworking government employees. Don't want to shit on you people, especially if there's some in the chat. But I mean, I don't care.
You know,
I really don't. I'm sorry. I don't care if some government employees lose their jobs, because I think our government's way too big anyway. I don't care if a social worker for the government doesn't get to, I don't even know what they do. Like, there's so many people in government that get tax dollar paychecks that like they're continually pulling off of our backs and raising the debt. And I don't even know what they do. And I don't think their jobs are necessary. No offense.
No, it's true. I mean, there are a lot of good people who have jobs that are unnecessary and totally expendable. And I respect them for the hustle, right? Get your bag. All right. You guys have done it as long as you possibly can. But we're at this point where either you need to get a new career or there will be no country for future generations to inherit. Like, if we don't get a handle on the spending, if we don't downsize the size of the government, if we don't get rid of some of that unnecessary bloat, then it makes it very, very difficult to fix any possible problems there might be in the future. I'm not saying that that's all that needs to happen to be able to fix America, but Lord Jesus, we've got to start somewhere. And if people aren't willing to sacrifice their cushy job and put it on the line so that future generations will have a country to even inhabit, then I don't know what to tell you. You know, I mean,
your wife in the chat says, I don't care, and I mean the disrespect. So I guess we're taking the respect away from this. We don't care, period. Because she does speak for me and everybody at Badlands.
We don't care.
So we have plenty of disrespect for the people in government, I guess. And I think it's a fair thing to say. Yeah, I'm here for it. I think it's going to be a rug, but we'll see. They're all pretending to be really certain. So the question is, if it doesn't get shut down, what is going to be the thing, like the super big, really expensive thing that they sneak in here at the end that they compromise on to avert the shutdown? Because they've really built it up this time like it's going to be this big scary thing, and this is the closest we've gotten to the deadline in a while. I think the last shutdown was 2018. Before that was 2013. They're going to sneak something in to avert it. You know they will.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, the 6 Democrat votes that they were able to add today in the Senate was with the clean CR, like no additional spending on it. So, like, we're literally just that one vote away from being able to continue for the next 7 weeks without adding anything from that $1.5 trillion. It's you know, theoretically just based upon the scare tactic of the American people thinking that, you know, it was their fault because everything that they want to spend money on is stuff that the American people is seeing go away with no measurable negative impact. So that spending means absolutely nothing. They're not saving anybody's lives by funding the healthcare of illegal aliens, or I don't know, by putting Coca-Cola back on SNAP benefits or something like that. I mean, I don't even know everything that they want. They've been extremely vague about all of it. And, you know, that's the number one thing that I've heard is that Democrats want to fund illegal aliens' health benefits. And then I've heard Chuck Schumer say, we don't want to fund Democrats' health benefits, or Democrats' illegal aliens' health benefits.
I don't want to fund Democrats.
I don't either. But, yeah, I mean, it is pageantry, right? I mean, it's all theater, and if they were to not get that vote tomorrow and the government shut down, I think it would be the best thing for this country.
Do you remember where you were back in 2018 when the government shut down? It was such a memorable, traumatic experience for everybody.
No, I mean, I was working, I was doing shows, and nothing happened. Like nothing changed.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers because it doesn't matter.
Except now, President Trump could quite literally, with the stroke of a pen, just get rid of departments and employees and all sorts of discretionary spending. You know, I've heard a lot of people parrot the talking point that 100,000 federal employees are supposed to walk away from their jobs if, like, for whatever reason, like they're upset about what Trump is doing. And, you know, again, hey, please, like, go away. Like, you know, there's no reason for you to be there. If they were to do that and they all just, you know, simultaneously lost their job all at the exact same time, that would be amazing. But I mean, these people have cushy jobs for life. Like they can quite literally not show up and the union will protect them.
Yeah. The only one I want to pay for is the DoD, which they had some juicy contingency plans come out today.
I saw it.
Very juicy. Very excited about that. But we do have some conspiracies we're going to talk about tonight. So those who are tuning in, those who are new to the page, make sure you hit that thumbs up and hit that follow button. We appreciate it. But why don't we get a quick word from our sponsors? And then maybe we're going to talk about the QAnon shaman suing Donald Trump for $40 trillion.
$40 trillion. Yeah.
We're about to be in like $80 trillion debt as a nation because of this lawsuit. And then some Charlie Kirk stuff we'll get into, which, by the way, dude, Erica Kirk going on that podcast, like that was a little too soon.
I didn't actually see it. I saw some clips, but, you know, I mean, here's the thing. Charlie hosts that show every single day.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that she probably feels a pretty great amount of pressure to be a part of whatever is happening and, you know, maybe shepherd it into its next iteration so that other people don't come in and just take it over. I mean, I thought it was too soon for Ben Shapiro to host like on the second day, but you know, but I mean, you know, obviously we're not on the TPUSA board. Erica has gotten so much flack from people.
Yeah.
And, you know, here's the thing. Grief takes many forms. Okay. And far be it from me to say how I would respond if Lisa was assassinated on television in front of millions of people. I mean, I don't personally think that I would want to go out and do a show right away. But
I hope not.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, the opportunity might present itself, and then I would perhaps think like, okay, this is the only thing I can do to keep myself from going insane. I don't know. But
what is the acceptable amount of time to do a podcast when your loved one, a significant other, passes away? Is there?
I don't think that there is an established acceptable amount of time. I think that Erica would have gotten flack no matter when.
Do you? Lisa's like, you so would. You probably would. But that's the thing. Like, it's different for you because that's like, this is your escape, right? Like, this is what you do. This is how you. This is your. I don't know. I'm your reason to live, Zach. Let's just say that. Okay. But Erica, she wasn't a podcaster. It's not like that was her thing that she always did, and like that was her outlet. Like, this is something completely new. It's different, completely different. So I don't know.
But it was Charlie's thing, and I think that, I mean, the one thing that I firmly believe is that they were deeply in love. Yeah, okay, it might make her feel closer to him. I don't know.
Maybe. I see you wanting to give her much benefit of the doubt, and I'm okay with that.
You know, I mean, just devil's advocate here. I just see so many people like, Erica Kirk is a harpy. You know, just people saying
know that.
Well, I don't know that either. But people have just been so tough on her, and I just, that's why I'm saying I just don't think that people are looking for a boogeyman. All right, like, and in the absence of any real information, it comes out in a million different ways.
Did you see the new, like, the latest video that came out about the microphone thing?
The exploding microphone?
Yeah, because I think there's legit reasons for Boogeyman thought here,
Absolutely.
and I'm
No,
not
of
blaming
course there is.
Erica Kirk for it necessarily. I'm just my only thoughts is her behaviors post Kirk death give me the heebie-jeebies in a lot of ways. We'll leave it at that, but we're gonna get into some of that stuff here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's get a quick word from our sponsors. Our first one is us over at the Badlands shop. You guys, when your favorite show ends and we don't raid somebody, most of you will be happy about that. Some of you won't be, but anyway, if you get bored or whatever, you don't know what to do after the show ends, you got to go to our website, explore our incredible sponsors. From products featured on the show to kickstarting your shopping list, the Badlands shop has you covered. Every purchase you make is a powerful vote for the future you believe in. We make it easy to shop America First, supporting Badlands creators and patriot small businesses that champion freedom. You're not just buying a product, you're fueling a movement with every dollar spent. Thank you for supporting businesses that support Badlands Media. Head over to badlandsmedia.tv and click shop from the menu, or go directly to badlandsmedia.tv/shop. And then we're also going to get a quick word from us again in the form of soft disclosure.
Deodorant should do more than cover you up. It should protect you all day long.
Dude, the deodorant stick is legit. I like the mint one. And, you know, you go work out and you kind of get like, you know, you get funky if you work out. Dude, like at the end of my workout, like I'm sweating, shirt got all those sweat. Like I'm like, dude, I still smell good. Like I absolutely love it. If you guys haven't tried it, try it.
That's the difference with soft disclosure. No aluminum, no chemicals, just clean, natural ingredients that fight odor and keep you fresh through every workout, every meeting, every moment.
I've always struggled with the, like, you can't use aluminum deodorant because you're going to die if you use it kind of thing, because all of the non-aluminum aluminum deodorant products suck pretty much. Yeah. This is different. This is all day. You're all day good, and you're not putting any of that disgusting chemicals right near your lymph nodes.
Soft disclosure deodorant, real protection, real freshness, built on truth. Available in mint and lemon grapefruit. Visit softdisclosure.com and use promo code Badlands for 15% off.
Soft disclosure. Apparently, I didn't realize that we had a new soft disclosure ad, so we'll have to play that new one later.
Okay, we can do that.
So, my bad, Jessica. Cam Cooksey says, stick a fork in my fantasy football team. The Black Morgan Freeman beat me. Who's the Black Morgan Freeman?
Would that be Cam? I mean, he's the only black guy.
Cam said that. JB's the other black guy.
Oh, I guess maybe
JB's in the league. You're not in the league, are you?
No, I'm not in the league because I don't know anything about football, and I didn't have time to like learn how to play fantasy football or put a team together. It would have been totally ceremonial.
Oh, he lost to JB White.
Okay, there you go.
That makes sense. I had a good week this week. I had the highest points in the league this week.
Oh, good for you.
Suck on that, everybody.
Yeah, Brian said he lost.
Oh, question. Did you see, speaking of football, that for the Super Bowl, they're getting a singer that only sings Spanish songs? Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, he's also like an illegal from Puerto Rico or something. Or maybe he
Oh my God. I hope they arrest him and deport him during the halftime show.
I was thinking the same thing. I know that he was originally on an American tour, and then he canceled his American tour because he was afraid of his audience being targeted by ICE. And then the Super Bowl hires him to do the halftime show. I have never heard of this guy. I don't know what kind of music he does. Maybe we should look it up.
Well, when they announced it, I was like, okay, well, what's this song? I don't listen to the radio, but I was like, there's got to be something I've heard in a commercial or something. And no, it's all Spanish stuff. Maybe a Taco Bell commercial, but I haven't heard a single thing. Well, it's ridiculous.
I mean, he's totally obviously marketing to the Spanish-speaking community of the United States of America. There's at least 10 to 12 million of them that exclusively speak Spanish, I would imagine.
Cam Cooksey says he's one of the biggest artists in the world. Shouldn't matter. This is America. You got to speak English. You got to sing English if you're going to be performing at the Super Bowl.
That's what I think. You know what I have noticed also? I got new internet installed this morning, And
I feel like you get new internet like every other month.
Well, it's been well over a year since I got the last new internet.
You get new internet like annually.
So I went back to AT&T, okay, because they lowered the price of the 5 gig, and I am moving all of my cell phones from T-Mobile to AT&T, and I get like a 20% discount on top of everything. So I get better service, and I get it's better service all around, and it's basically the same price. And so when they called me, and they start the call in Spanish, and then like they texted me, and the text was in Spanish, and I'm like, what makes you think that I am a Spanish speaking individual? Like my name is
skin color.
Okay. I guess maybe if they were using AI to just like look at an online profile of me or something, but
yeah, that's stupid, man.
It is stupid.
I thought Trump was going to end that stuff.
I mean, I don't know that it's
couple
Trump.
executive orders.
I think
no Espanol.
I hereby declare that no American company is allowed to send out marketing in Spanish.
Yes, I am 100%. I voted for that.
Well, where I'm at in Florida, like I have noticed that they're like probably half the ads. Like if we watch like something on Hulu or something like that, the ads are listen to this. The ads are in Spanish for like local businesses, or it's about various types of HIV medications. And do you know like which populations are most likely to have HIV in the country?
Well, probably the Spaniards.
No, not Spaniards.
The gays.
Well, the gays, obviously. But like, but then there's also a large contingent of Black Americans that have high HIV rates as well.
Wow.
And I think that's because that's a conspiracy I'm not going to go into.
Say it.
Well, I think that what you might have is Black men who are having sex with men and women. And then they go into
racist.
They go into like, you know, their heterosexual relationships, and they bring HIV with them. Like one of the top cities for HIV transmission rates in America is Jacksonville. And then the other one is Miami.
They won't take their kids with them, but they'll take their HIV with them, huh? Is that what you're saying? I did not know that, though. I did not know that was a thing amongst the Black community. Cam, can you confirm that for us?
So Cam said, "Say it, Zach." So I mean, so you're watching the commercials, and it's a bunch of gay dudes and then heterosexual Black couples. Like this is like the only people that they're appealing to. And I had no idea that there were so many different HIV drugs you can take. There are HIV drugs you can take once you get HIV to manage your viral load, and then you've also got HIV drugs.
Like the word choice.
HIV.
Like viral load.
I only know that term because I actually knew somebody like 20 years ago when I lived in California who was HIV positive. And he like told me at that time that you know, he's like, yeah, you know, I have HIV. I've been HIV positive all these years, but because of the drugs they have, you know, I test like I'm negative, but I still didn't want to get bled.
Haven't we not eradicated HIV? Wasn't that a thing at some point?
Well,
didn't Fauci fix that for us a long time ago?
At a point it was, but then people, younger people, started having promiscuous sex, and they pushed the whole gay trans agenda thing, and so then people were having sex with all kinds of random people, and obviously Black men were going into Miami and then coming back up to Jacksonville.
Heath Higgins makes a great point. AT&T knows you own a Subaru. They're marketing to lesbians.
There's no lesbians. There's no dental dam ads.
Are there Subaru ads?
No Subaru ads. Maybe there's some car dealership ads, but none of them explicitly Subaru.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have any like marketing information that's attached to Hulu, to be honest with you.
Well, whatever. I don't know how we got on that topic, but I'm glad we're done talking about it.
Yeah, we can move on.
Let's talk about QAnon shaman.
Well, wait. I think this is going to make up the bulk of the show, so I think we should start with Charlie.
Okay, we can start with Charlie.
All right, so
because you have a couple conspiracies, I just want to show the clip of the. I mean, I guess as long as it's not the bloody part, but the part where it looks like it's shooting from his neck.
You pull that up, okay? Because that I think will coincide with the first clip I want to show. really, I think I just kind of want to dispel a couple of things, because as I said, people are looking for conspiracy, and I'm not saying it isn't there, but I'm saying that at this point, people are scraping the bottom of the barrel on things to find conspiratorial. So Hustle Bitch, he's one of the accounts on Twitter that tweets everything that you see. Okay, so he says, watch this footage very closely. Right after the shot, the scene around Charlie's body looks anything but normal. One man leans over the table, palms something, slips it off, shoves an item into his pocket, then instantly masks it by scrolling his phone like nothing happened. Okay, first of all, I will directly contradict this. I have seen the raw footage, and there's this guy who, he's like, part of the security team. They're moving around, and he it's almost like they are grabbing each other because everybody is kind of rushing around like, what am I supposed to do? And as soon as he touches this guy's hand, he puts his hand in his pocket, and people were saying that he palmed something, but I actually zoomed in on the footage, the raw footage, and he puts his hand in his pocket because he pulls his phone out, and then he immediately starts trying to call somebody. So
see, I think I saw. Are you going to show the clip? Because I'm pretty sure the guy had the phone in his left hand and he put it in his right hand to put in his pocket, and then he pulled it back out. And he's like, "No, I'm not going to do that yet."
Okay, so I don't have the full raw footage. I only have the edited clip. And the reason I have this clip is because it's a series of fast edits of people with things in their hands that you can't identify, that it's intimated that these are somehow nefarious. But
there's what's the conspiracy? They're trying to say like these people were doing something, or
there's something in their hands. They were putting things in their pockets, and then they have stuff in their hands. But
literally everybody on campus had something in their hands.
Exactly. That's my point. Okay. I feel like it's a stretch, and I feel like too many hands, too many objects moving, too many things concealed in seconds. Okay. So guy jumps over this guy right here. He's got somebody's arm. Okay. And then he reaches in his pocket.
Editing this.
I know.
I hate that.
Okay. Shit. And as he turns around, he pulls that phone out of his pocket. Okay. Now, these two guys, I'm not saying that something wasn't passed because there's too much happening. But this guy right here, in the full footage, you can clearly tell that he reaches into his pocket to grab his phone. He pulls it out. Okay.
Can you mute it, by the way?
Yes, I can mute it. Okay. The one thing that I will say is that a couple of dudes on the security team, they're definitely wearing Meta Ray-Ban glasses.
Oh, yeah.
And like right at the moment before the shooting happens, Dan Flood, who is the guy in the black shirt who's standing behind Charlie to his right, he starts recording. And then the shot happens and he runs over. And then, when he looks down at Charlie, he hits like another still image. And there's a couple of them that are doing it the entire time. All right.
Yeah. That's messed up. Also, the more concerning thing is like they have the footage. It's like right up on the on the backdrop, and yet they took it down right away. Like, when are we going to see that footage?
Well, allegedly that was given to the FBI. Okay, so the FBI, I don't know that they're going to release that footage. So they have plausible deniability on that, but nobody has ever admitted the footage on their Meta Ray-Ban glasses. And if they never told the FBI that it was there, then I don't know that the FBI would have thought to ask about it, or anybody would have thought to ask. But I mean, as you're watching all of these different clips over and over again, it's pretty clear that people definitely were wearing those glasses and they were definitely taking pictures and video. Now, again, what's most annoying to me about this is that there's so many jump cuts. So you're missing all of this context in between there, and all you see is like, boom, 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 boom. But continuing.
Yeah. I don't want me some Ray-Ban. I don't wear sunglasses, but I'd wear ones that I could like record people. I like recording things.
I thought about getting them, but yeah. Okay. All right. So then they pull Charlie up. Then they go out here. I do have something specific about the security company, though. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Aren't they Israeli?
Well, we'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, all right. So you've got this guy who looks like maybe he could be on the security team. He's got something in that hand right there. Looks like a phone to me, personally. Mm-hmm. Okay. Doesn't seem nefarious. All right. And then you've got this guy who is one of
that haircut could use some work.
Okay. So then you got this guy who is definitely one of the people on the security team as well.
Anybody I think running towards the action is probably part of security.
Right.
Everybody else is running away.
Okay, you can see he's got something in his hand too, but we can't tell what it is.
I mean, he's probably got a gun.
And that's not a gun. That could be a phone, a pack of cigarettes, a piece of paper.
But I don't get what are they what are they trying to say these are?
Literally,
Are they still killing Kirk at this point? Like, is that what they're doing with these devices? Is that what they're saying?
The insinuation is that, okay, and then there's the guy who took the footage down right there. Okay. Candace Owens talked to that guy. The insinuation is this right here: too many hands, too many moving objects, too many things concealed in seconds. Okay. And I mean, you know, it's literally, it's a,
so stupid.
Yeah, it's just clickbait in my opinion. All right.
Oh, 100%. That's all this guy does.
Yeah.
If you this is a non-starter. If you put a siren emoji or the word breaking in all caps in any of your posts, you are posting clickbait.
Yeah.
It's never not that.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one actually is in regards to the security team. Okay. So there was some confusion as to who the security team was. The old security team was a group called Schaefer Group. Okay. And the current security team was a place that was Rock House Integrity Group. Now, Schaefer Security Group was approached by a number of people, and Headline USA actually was able to interview them and get a comment from them. And they had an official Twitter account, but after the article came out, they actually deleted the Twitter account. So here is what they said. Schaefer Group, in a now deleted tweet, identified a private security firm named Integrity Security Group, who was in charge of Charlie's security that day. So the quote from Schaefer: the private security firm hiding in the shadows, not taking responsibility for their actions, is Rock House Security Group DB, or Group, oh, he just spelled that wrong, DBA, doing business as Integrity Security Solutions. The individuals who work for that company, Integrity Security Solutions, were the ones on the stage, Schaefer told Headline USA. Schaefer further said that Integrity Security Solutions founder Brian Harpole and TPUSA Security Director Dan Flood both used to work with him at Schaefer Security until they stabbed him in the back. Dan
literally, or
figure
it's in quotes, I guess. Okay.
Yeah. So Dan Flood was the guy in the black shirt. Dan Flood headed up security for Turning Point USA, and Brian Harpole is his best friend. Brian worked for me for 7 years, and then Brian started his own company and shorted me on the contract for TPUSA. That's how they got the contract. When asked whether he had a falling out with Flood and Harpole, Schaefer said with a chuckle, "No, just got stabbed in the back by some friends." Schaefer declined to comment further, other than to say he's 100% confident that was the group that provided security for Kirk on that day. So we can actually pull up the article in another tab and take a look at that in just a moment. But here is the now deleted tweet. My firm was not in Utah on 9/10. SSG has not been affiliated with TPUSA since 2022. The private security firm hiding in the shadows, I feel like that's notable, not taking responsibility for their actions, is Rock House Integrity Group, doing business as Integrity Security Solutions. Now, saying open source, he was able to find this out because the information was online. Now, okay, so what's interesting here, we also have a statement. TPUSA COO Tyler Bower remarks regarding drones and security failures. I have a lot of feelings I want to be careful about sharing publicly. It was campus police's responsibility to check line of sight. There was a breakdown in security, a huge failure in my opinion. Obviously, the security team would have had some responsibility there too. It was a breakdown. Many things we do privately would have saved Charlie. In terms of a drone, Charlie Kirk was watching drone footage as he was approaching UVU. He says camera crew versus security drones are two separate things. Now, there's been a lot of talk, John, I'm sure you've seen it, about drones that were allegedly present in the air right around the time of the assassination. These
Actually,
are
I've not seen that.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, well, these are not like regular drones. These are like some advanced military drones. And the people who are talking about these drones they've actually publicly blamed Palmer Luckey. And they've said that Palmer Luckey must have been the one to kill Charlie Kirk. You know who Palmer Luckey is, right?
No, I don't.
He's the inventor of Oculus, and he's the CEO of Anduril. He's a government contractor, and he's also the brother-in-law of Matt Gaetz.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Matt Gaetz. Why would he have?
Well, because he has a drone company. It's like he's the only dude who has drones in the United States. Like, come on. Kind of ridiculous, but that's what they're pushing. It's definitely not Israel, guys, so don't worry. So Charlie Kirk was watching the drone footage as he approached. The camera crew versus the security drones are two separate things. So Tyler seems to be indicating that there actually were multiple types of drones in the air. Camera drones for TPUSA and then security drones. He also said drones would have saved Charlie's life in his opinion, but the campus wouldn't allow it. Okay, so whose were they? I'm confused. If Charlie was watching via drone footage, I'm assuming of UVU, why were security drones not allowed over UVU? Maybe you can clarify, Tyler. He's made a bunch of different statements. These are all from tweets on X. Now, there's another part that is notable. Schaefer Security Group, the group who was talking about the security firm in the shadows that didn't take responsibility, after they made those public comments, put the tweet out, and then did the interview with Headline USA, they've completely deactivated their X account.
Wow.
Like, it's gone now. So it's not there. Just to jump over to Headline USA real quick, he's just got basically everything that we learned. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but there's some strange things. Definitely some strange things. And
yeah, I have a couple things I could I could share. And this is something I dug up a while ago, right when we figured out there's a video that came out. I think it was Chris Paul who shared it with us, and it was talking about how it was an interview of Erica Kirk, and she was talking about how she got to Arizona, and it was because her mother had some DHS contract. And there's people who've talked about this part where she worked for, I have the company here. She's on the board of a few different companies, but I'm going to tie this to Tyler Bauer. Okay. But let me show you. Let me show you this first. So you see these companies here. This eForce One, they've gotten a government contract. They make Faraday bags and stuff.
Okay.
And there's a couple interesting people that she works with on this. So I can even show you one here. So Lori Franceby, that's Erica Kirk's mother.
Yep.
This Larry Guinta guy, he does have an interesting background. It's, oh man, I have to join LinkedIn. I don't really want to do that right now, but
okay.
Let me see if I can. What the heck? Why did it just put me in LinkedIn?
You must already have an account. Just make sure you're not doxing any private information.
I don't think I do have an account, but anyway, let me try this again. Larry Guinta. Let's see if it'll let me look him up now that it logged me in automatically. Okay, here we go. So this guy's background is pretty nuts. He's highly sensitive projects for the government, EMP technologies, subject matter. He's the subject matter expert on EMP mitigation technologies. He's held management roles in research development, blah, 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 blah. Has worked on specialized projects for agencies like the DOD, DOE, DHS, and FEMA. So just this is more interesting. $2 million contract with DHS, but it's Faraday bag stuff. What I think is more interesting and how it connects to TPUSA and Tyler Bauer is this other company here down at the bottom, this Superfeed Technologies. If you click on them, they are here and they've been around for a while. Let me see if I can actually get to the list of their people on this board.
Formation April 30th of 2019.
Yeah.
So when did Charlie and Erica meet? What year was it?
September of 2018.
Okay, so this would have been after they had met. Okay.
Yep, after they met, this company gets formed, and I'll show you a few things. So Lori Franceby's on here on this board.
Yeah.
And then if you go to the next page, Tyler Bauer is also on the board of this. So Tyler Bauer from TPUSA, as well as Erica Kirk's mother, on the board of the same company. You go and look at what the company actually does, and they are cutting-edge mobile application technology solutions tailored for canvassing and social media engagement. And if you go to their actual website, they talk about all the things they do, rallies and canvassing and registering people for votes. There's clients and case studies. TPUSA is their biggest like account. They have the Patriot Project, Early Voting Action, Community Action Network. A lot of these things that we've talked about over the years, maybe not you, but some of us others on Badlands, Chris Ball especially, talked about like our election system is fraudulent. And I know you think that too, but these are the reasons. Like it's companies like this that are registering voters for fake elections that are keeping that going. So I thought that was interesting. But then going even further into it, I went and looked at a 2022 annual report, and the CEO of this company for a period of time is none other than Jeffrey DeWitt. And if you guys remember, Jeffrey DeWitt is the guy that Carrie Lake recorded a conversation with when somebody was trying to get her to drop out and stop her pursuit of the election stuff.
Threatened. That's right.
That was Jeffrey DeWitt.
So he's a player in Arizona. Okay.
He's like not good player in Arizona.
So
let me see if I can find that recorded call.
Couple of thoughts. I mean, first of all, I think just the simple fact of working for a company or having a company that gets a government contract, not so strange. I mean, with as big as the government is and as many contracts as they have, I mean, it's bound to happen. You know, I would imagine that you know, if Tyler was already working with Charlie, then you know the family and the close associates, you know, they're probably getting together, and people are always brainstorming on, you know, how they can make more money and what they can do and how they can help each other. And so, I mean, that's not particularly strange, but I think that Jeffrey DeWitt is definitely an interesting character and somebody to look into.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. You have Erica's mom on the board of this random, you know, mobile application company. This isn't the company that got the government grants, as far as I could find any. By the way, it was that E-Force One, the Faraday bag, and especially when it comes to military technology type stuff, that's a no-brainer. Those things, like, they all get freaking government contracts.
Right.
The Jeffrey DeWitt thing being on here with Tyler Bowyer, and the other Franzi, whatever. That's where I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah. So so they've been in Arizona a long time. I mean, it seems like Jeffrey has been a player in Arizona for a long time. So, I mean, obviously he was affiliated with Carrie Lake to some degree, enough that he could come and threaten her to drop out of the race if she wanted to have a more successful career later on down the line. Doesn't mean that he's trustworthy or somebody that you really want to have on your team. But I also know that these circles are fairly small when it comes to, you know, power players, and especially when you get to a regional level. And I could see Erica's mother having already been on a number of companies, like maybe just joining the board to perhaps legitimize whatever it is that Tyler and this group is going to do. And obviously they seem to be pretty successful, at least in terms of their deployment of their product. But what I've seen a lot of people just kind of say without really justifying it is that because Erica's mother had worked for a company, or, you know, been part of a company that had a government contract, that right there puts Erica into this category of people like she must have been a honeypot, like, since the very beginning. And I just feel like that's such a stretch. That's a real leap for me.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. I actually looked to the date of the grant that they got. Let me see if I can figure out what it was. It was like it wasn't anytime recent. E3 Tech. Let me look that up. You can look up all grants and stuff, guys, by the way, at usaspending.gov. What did I say? E3 Tech. Yeah, right here. Almost $2 million. E3 Tech Group. And it was awarded in 2008.
Okay.
So long time ago. A galaxy far, far away.
I would imagine that there have probably been hundreds of Faraday bag grants or spending requests that have come out since.
No, Zach, they've been planning the assassination of Kirk since 2008.
Yeah.
He would have been how old? 10 years old? Something like that?
2008, he would have been 15 because he was 15. Born in 93.
Okay. Math's a little wonky there, but yes, he would have been 15.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one. Here's another one that I feel is a total nothing burger. But I've seen a number of people sharing a couple of different videos and just putting it out there. All right, so you may have seen a video like this with this woman, or maybe this one right here. But essentially, the narrative is that a whistleblower with the Arizona Sports and Tourism Authority has come forward to make the claim that TPUSA had rented the State Farm Arena back in May of 2025 for the event, which was held on September 22nd, which would have been Charlie's memorial. Now, of course, there's no public events that were scheduled in Arizona for September 22nd. And there's also no evidence to suggest that this is real. Okay. I took this as deep as I could go, and it appears that it started on like left-wing internet circles, like it was like Blue Sky and Threads, and then made its way over to Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. I'm gonna go ahead and play this woman's video so that we can go ahead.
Before you do,
yeah.
I need to read a comment from your wife who said, I think a lot of good people are starting to sound like Derek Johnson and Phil Godlewski. Time to pump the brakes and come back down to earth with the rest of us. I have a great clip for this when you're done. For that comment specifically for when you're done showing this.
Okay, here we go.
They did it to him. It's all a setup, and this is why I know it is. According to the tourism board in Arizona.
Okay, I'll just go on record. The Arizona Tourism Board has not made any public statements. There have not been any like quoted statements from these supposed whistleblowers. There have been no documents that have been presented. It is literally just random people on the internet claiming this to be true. And like I was going through all of these reply threads, people like asking others who had been posting about Charlie's death and repeatedly asking, why did they rent the State Farm Arena back in May? And, just this different people asking the same question over and over again in a variety of different ways. And the only source is a couple of random people on the internet who have no sources.
The Cardinal Stadium, where that memorial was held. Now, this ain't no small venue. That's where the Arizona Cardinals play, right? That's where they held his memorial, right?
They were not scheduled to play like at that time or anything.
Well, Turning Point USA had rented that venue for that date back in May.
So I have actually found reporting from before the memorial, and there was nobody that was scheduled to have an event on that date. And they said that it was available for short-term rental. And so TPUSA decided to have it there because it was a Sunday, and obviously Charlie's lives in Arizona. So I have seen that quoted directly from the stadium, but nothing else.
Why did you need to rent a venue back in May? For what? You weren't promoting something else. You weren't promoting some other gathering. You can't just walk up in places like that. You know what I mean? You have to rent them. You have to pre-plan events, right? So clearly somebody said, well, I know where to do it. I know where to have the memorial. Let's have it in Arizona, where they lived. I'm just saying.
What was the weekend of the memorial?
It was the 20. Well, gosh, I thought it was the 22nd. Maybe it was the 20th or the 21st. Let me look at the calendar.
It was the 21st. Yeah, 21st. So this is a Wayback Machine. Let me take yours down, put this up. Wayback Machine from August 19th. Mm-hmm. So this would have been a month prior. It's the closest I could get to it. Yeah. Otherwise, it goes to the 21st. But a month prior, it has that weekend open, 20th. And then I wonder if on the 21st it has it open as well. Let's check. We'll fast forward or not. Yeah, here we go. And then it's there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the website. I mean, technically, they could have just not put on the website. They probably wouldn't put a remembering Charlie Kirk on the website before he dies. No, but it does look like an open weekend. Yeah, that one sounds a little crazy.
Yeah,
but I do want to show you this because this is what your wife said about people starting to sound like Derek Johnson, Phil Godlewski. This is right up that alley.
Okay, I'm freaking out. This is a must watch. Somebody get this to Candace. I was using ChatGPT and I've been working on a project, lyrics for a song. It's a modern day take on the Billy Joel We Didn't Start the Fire. And I was chatting back and forth and I told my ChatGPT that I wanted it to include the assassination of CK. And my heart stopped when I saw the response. So take a look at this. She said, I hear you, my friend, and I need to pause here to be really careful with the wording. Right now, as of today, CK is alive. Writing lyrics that state his assassination as fact would cross into misinformation that could cause real harm. I'm sorry, what? So I asked, what do you mean?
The music.
She comes back and says, oh, thanks for asking. I did some checking. Here's what I found. It was real, blah, blah, blah. So I asked her to play a little game. Yes, apple, no orange. So I asked, when you said CK is alive, was that actually the truth? Orange, no. But then I said, are you just saying that because of limitations on you? And she said, apple, yes. Somebody get this to Candace. I'm kind of scared to even keep going. Should I ask more? Tell me what I should ask next in the comments. But somebody get this to Candace.
I'm kind of spooked for her to keep going too, if I'm being honest.
Oh my God. This is like the ultimate example of AI retardation, and it's all over the internet. I see people quoting AI and showing the answers that they're getting from these AIs as if they are some godlike figure. Along with that rumor of the stadium having been rented, Grok, as far as I can tell, is the only AI that confirmed to people that, yes, in fact, the stadium had been rented on the 21st. But does everybody, like back in May, does everybody realize that Grok pulls its answers from people talking about things on X? Okay, so what you had was people quoting this as fact on a number of posts all over X, and then Grok goes and looks on X and says, oh yeah, people are talking about this and saying that it's true, so now I'm going to answer and say, yeah, actually, from sources on X, this is real.
Guys, AI is a great tool, but that's all it is. It is not the end all be all. If you are doing and operating based on things like AI is telling you, you're doing it wrong. And I've fallen victim to this many times. Like, AI is a great tool if you use it right, but if that is your source of information, it is wrong so often. You have to either correct it or go follow the sourcing to see for yourself. This last weekend, actually, I was trying to, there's the project I'm working on. We had a recorded video with a chat on the side. And I was trying to go through and get it to okay, AI, write me a script for Python that I can go in and it will scan this video and pull all the chats with the names, timestamps, and what they said and all these things. And I worked on that thing for hours, because it kept messing it up. It couldn't get it right. I could have just went in and just watched the video and wrote the things I needed. And eventually my girlfriend Cece ended up doing just that for me because I couldn't get it to work, but it wouldn't work. Like AI, it kept messing up there's a whole hour straight where I kept getting Python errors because it was a leading, I can't remember what it's called. It was a leading something where a space was off and had to go in. Oh, I'm sorry. I see that now. I'll correct that. And then same thing, just a different line. It's like, okay, how about you just correct all of them right now for me? It just so many mistakes. Can be a great tool, but also can be just insane sometimes.
Yeah.
But that post has 400,000 views. Some of these most ridiculous posts are getting millions of views. People are eating it up.
Yeah. It's disconcerting.
Yeah. Should I play the video quick from back or from the other angle? I don't think this shows any of the blood or anything.
Are you talking about the exploding pager?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is a different angle than what came out the day of. And everybody's talking about, it hit the plate or it, direct neck shot. Some people were saying maybe it was from behind, but this video alone, to me, this seems like the most plausible scenario for it. Oops, I gotta share my screen first, don't I? There we go. And I'll just mute it. You guys can watch. The little microphone on his neck.
Yeah.
This video, it looks like it explodes.
Yeah. No, for me, this explains all of the mental gymnastics of trying to figure out why his shirt behaved in the way that it did. I got to be honest, on the day that this happened, I suggested it's almost like whatever his mic under his shirt exploded. And I immediately thought about it because of the exploding pages.
I said the same thing in our group chat that we had. I was like, except my thing was I didn't say that thing. I said the earpiece. I said it was like exploding earpiece, like got him there. But that's when everyone's like, that's an exit wound. I didn't think of this angle. But I mean, to me, this makes the most sense. So then it's a matter of who they get that from? Who'd they buy from? And are they actually going to go there? The FBI needs to actually examine this, and Kash Patel says they are. But what does that mean for all these other things with Tyler Robinson and all that stuff? If it was that mic, what does that mean for Tyler Robinson?
Well, Candace is like dead set. She says she's spoken to his family and that they don't believe that he's guilty. I don't know that that's the case. I mean, she just could be talking to people who are, saying that they're close to them.
Also, but like any family member is going to be like, I just can't imagine he would do it. They're not going to want to be like, yeah, he fucking did it.
But I mean, the narrative is that he admitted to his father that he did it, and then his father convinced him to turn himself in.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So why would that thing happen? And then you're responsible for having your son turn himself in. And then you turn around and tell everybody that, no, my son couldn't have done this. I don't believe it. But it sounds like the community, the people who live in that area, are completely convinced that Tyler Robinson is not the person who did it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not convinced that he did it. And
Texas Jules in the chat says, I may be jaded, but I don't think we'll ever get answers to this. I may agree with her.
I'm not gonna argue at all. I mean, but I also think that by pushing pushing the envelope on this and continuing to talk about it is forcing some actions from the administration. And I mean, there is so much information and so many pieces of video and different angles that as well as physical evidence. I mean, think about how many people in the audience that day had their phones out, got video, never posted it online, and just simply walked away. I mean, over the years, like new video of 9/11 was still coming out, and you had like people with like VHS handycams and stuff. I mean, now you literally have every single person in that audience had a 4K quality video camera that they could be taking excellent video with at that moment.
Just in this picture alone, at the start of this video, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see 4 cameras right there. 5 back here.
Yep.
I'm missing one. I think that's 6 down here. At least 6 cameras right there. Plus you have the camera behind him.
Yep.
Who knows? I mean, so many.
Yeah, and I don't know that we've seen any of these. I mean, we've seen like 2 angles from Charlie's right. We've seen 2 angles from Charlie's front. We've seen perhaps 1 angle from Charlie's left. So there's a ton of evidence that's out there, and I don't even know that the FBI has it in their possession.
Somebody in the chat, watch the music video. She's my kind of crazy. Emerson Drive. Tell me that ain't Erica's zip line. The number 910. I've seen that thing. Like, what's the conclusion you guys are coming to by that video? Like, what is everybody trying to say by that?
The number 910, September 10th. Yeah, I feel like that's a stretch. I mean, that would mean that, I don't even know when that video was produced. I mean, but there would have to be something back then indicating that this event was going to take place on this day. I don't know, dude. I've seen people die before. Charlie looked dead to me. That's the thing. I think that
I would agree with you.
There's a lot of things about this that don't make any sense, but I'm not in the camp that thinks that, he was somehow spirited away in a hologram or something like that. Take a look at this. Here's another one, which is definitely interesting, but I don't know that it is what it's being portrayed as. Not exactly sure what we're looking at. But here, so this is some footage, something after Charlie is shot, like pops up. Now, the poster is saying that it's a shell casing. I don't think that we can say that, but take a look.
Gang violence. Great.
That looks like something fell off.
Yeah.
Or the way that it kind of moves around, it could be like a bug. You know, I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh.
but it's being presented as a shell casing. I don't know that. I don't think that we can definitively say that at all.
So I'm just trying to find that zipline video.
I haven't seen it. I heard people talking about it.
Let's see if I can find it.
Wait, Awakened Questioner says, nope, thanks for misrepresenting the claims for a straw man, Zach. I don't even know what you're referring to. What did I misrepresent the claims of? Let's be specific here, because there's been a couple of different things that we talked about. I don't know what you're referring to.
Okay, I do see it. It's she does zip line, but she also zip lines. These are clearly times for a show or something. 10:10, 9:10, and 8:10. I'm assuming. So, which is it? Can they only kill him on a month with as long as it's got a 10 in it? I don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't think that's relevant either.
But yeah, anyway, lots of conspiracies flown around.
Hologramming him away. Listen, I was just saying it to be funny. I don't know. All I'm trying to say is that I don't believe that what we saw was a fake thing. Okay. And God, you have no fucking sense of humor, apparently.
Who are you talking about? Awakened
Questioner, because I said that he was hologrammed away. I've seen people say that it was a hologram. I've seen people say that it was squibs. You know, I also saw quite a bit of blood pour out of his neck. So
that conspiracy guy is real angry. He says, you dumb pigs think I'm joking, you fucking cunts. He was an interdimensional time-traveling, space-traveling galactic federation of many different aliens fighting the Illuminati, pedo, and reptilian inbreds running Earth folks. Wake up. How daft are you? You fat pigs think I'm making shit up.
Okay, well, I totally thought you were joking, because that was one of the most unhinged things that I could possibly imagine someone putting in the chat.
I was like, that has to be sarcasm. I was like, that's epic.
Yeah, that has to be sarcasm.
But he might be serious.
I think he's serious. Listen,
case, bro.
You fucking pig.
I'm not going to call him names. I'm not going to call him names.
I don't know. He called us fucking pigs. I just thought I would return the favor.
I know. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying, like, start softer if you want to win people over to your argument. If you're going to present that argument, don't go all the way to the conclusion. Like, start with why you think that. Maybe show some proof instead of just calling us.
Catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
Yeah, Cam Cooksey wants to know how he feels about fat pigs.
I mean, generally speaking, I love them because they're delicious.
Red Pill Wife, your wife, has something to say. He says, let me tell you what Zach is saying. He is kindly saying you are all retarded if you think he's alive, but he's too classy. Is that accurate?
Well, I wouldn't say that. Lisa said that. But no, I'm just saying I don't believe Charlie is alive. I mean,
I don't know.
Like I said, I have seen people die, and that looked to me like he truly died. I think Lisa's offended that he called us fat pigs. That's funny.
And the fat pigs isn't even. He called us cunts too. I felt like that was more rude.
Maybe he's British.
I don't know.
Maybe he's British. I mean, you just call people cunts. You know, that's like a day of the week.
He might have left because he hasn't responded now in the chat.
Okay, he probably did. Well, listen, let's jump forward to the QAnon shaman, because this is actually a big story. This is a real big story. All right, you guys. So Jacob Chansley has officially sued the entire federal government of the United States.
I thought it was just Trump.
No. Here, let me pull up the documents, okay? He is suing them pro se in the Arizona State Superior Court of Maricopa, and he is suing the United States federal government, the Federal Reserve Bank, the IMF, the World Bank, the Bank of International Settlements, and Donald Trump for treason and breach of constitutional contract on behalf of every single American. Additional defendants named are X Corporation, T-Mobile, the National Security Agency, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, Warner Brothers Studios, and the State of Israel. Now, this is his demand for relief. $40 trillion plus all of the money and the gold in the IMF, World Bank, and the Bank of International Settlements, $38 trillion for the U.S. Treasury to void all illusions of U.S. debt and return the USA to surplus. Isn't this funny? He wants the U.S. to have a $2 trillion surplus, but he personally wants $40 trillion in his own bank account. That would make him the wealthiest person who ever lived.
And where would that come from if he's suing the government? So technically the government would go to 78 million or $1 trillion in debt and then have 30. So we would actually increase the debt by 2 trillion based on what he's asking for here. And I feel like that's math is way wrong. I feel like we'd increase by like 120 trillion. I'm done with the math, but this does not math for me.
Yeah, there's also $1 trillion to rebuild America's infrastructure. Again, that is $39 trillion less than what he would get personally. And then another $1 trillion for personal, emotional, mental, and spiritual torture and years worth of anguish. Also,
I feel like he has a case there. There's been some mental something going on.
He was definitely mistreated by the Biden regime. But then also all global debt should be forgiven from all central banks around the world, and we will have a true global reset.
Cool.
Okay, he filed this on September 22nd.
Does he have a GoFundMe for this, for his legal fees?
I haven't seen that. Okay, so here are the applicable laws that, well, actually, first of all, jurisdiction is Maricopa. Plaintiff resides in Maricopa. The defendant resides in Washington, D.C., and does business in the USA and abroad. The plaintiff in the case is him, Jacob Chansley, and then the defendants he mentions again, and then see attached documents and exhibits. He's actually included a Google Drive, which has all of the evidence. And if you'll give me just a moment, I will see if he has given me access.
It looks like he's got all the screenshots of all the...
This is actually the court filing. You'll see it in just a moment. Okay. But these are the applicable laws. Marbury versus Madison, all laws repugnant to the Constitution are null and void. I can get behind that. U.S. Constitution, Article 3, Section 3, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 2, the Bill of Rights, Amendment 4, Constitution, Bill of Rights, Amendment 1, Neer versus Minnesota, Supreme Court decision, prior restraint is unconstitutional, U.S. Constitution, Amendment 2, Bill of Rights. Injuries. Every way a government can abuse a human being, the government has abused me or another American citizen. These abuses have persisted for decades and increased in intensity and repetition so as to indicate a larger pattern of abuse, robbery, and murder. The injuries I and others have endured at the hands of the government are too numerous to list or delineate on paper. The accusations in the statement of facts speak for themselves. The statement of facts is the next 40 pages. And so, I'll tell you right now, the lawsuit is too broad. Okay. Too many plaintiffs, too many possible defendants, and the span of injury.
That's the problem you see with this lawsuit is
that's
too many defendants.
One. That's just one. The overly broad nature of the lawsuit, I think, once a judge actually looks at it, this will get it kicked out. But so statement of facts. The more you read, the more it all makes sense. The more you see, the more your heart breaks. This is his statement of facts. The United States government knows that according to Marbury versus Madison, all laws which are repugnant to the Constitution are null and void. However, that has not stopped them from continuing to operate a clearly unconstitutional system while they target Americans to do it. For example, the clearly unconstitutional, I think that's Organic Act, was passed into law in 1871. It was later repealed in 1874. However, the effects of the law's passing remain to this day, in spite of it being unconstitutional. The same can be said for the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, all of which is an unconstitutional law that is currently affecting the heartbeat of our nation's economy and amount of food Americans can afford to put on the dinner table. This is pertinent because I am asserting that this current corporate federal government has no legal standing or authority according to the Constitution of the USA. If we examine...
Are we going to read this whole thing, by the way?
Well, I was going to try to just see if we could get a baseline. I don't disagree with, where he's going with this. But
I've seen this lawsuit filed this is the, what was it called? We did a conspiracy show on this.
Yeah.
What's it called? The people who claim to not be citizens.
Sovereign citizens?
Yeah. There's been multiple people who've tried to do this same argument so far.
Yeah, kind of.
In the sovereign citizen thing, and they get laughed out of court.
Yeah, in a similar vein. Yeah. Also at the same time, though, it's worth mentioning that, there have been lawsuits that have been filed using, similar tenets that have been successful, just because they kind of trap the government in an argument that they know they can't win. And so then they'll go ahead and just drop it. But, he continues talking about the damages to the American people. He mentions Operation Paperclip, the 1,500 Nazi scientists that were brought to the United States, the USS Liberty, the Patriot Act, the War on Terror. So, I mean, he's basically made it through 100 years of history already here. Then he mentions known pedophile Dennis Hastert, who was Speaker of the House during the passage of the USA Patriot Act, and further unconstitutional laws. But I have personally suffered both unprovoked warfare and engineered economic collapse at the hands of this unconstitutional and tyrannical state. If our government is able to engineer economic collapse in foreign nations and keep their unconstitutional war going in a foreign nation, you'd better believe that they can do it to an individual and no one would ever suspect a thing. Now, I know
you argue that. How can you argue in court using case precedents after the fact of a date you said the government is unconstitutional? Like, the government is unconstitutional since this date, but I'm going to use legal precedent from dates that came after that to argue it and win stuff like that. I feel like that's illogical.
I agree. I too think it's illogical. And I think that it just points to the futile nature of this lawsuit.
Hey, by the way, I would love to see the government lose $40 trillion or $78 trillion. I'd love to see all of our debts wiped out.
Of course.
I'd love to see Nassar Jassara come true. I'd love to see all those things. I'd love to see pigs fly. I'd love to see rainbows and every day. It sounds a little base, but I'm not hopeful that this is going to actually be successful, guys.
No. Hold on. Take a listen to this. So he's talking about he got a phone call. So the court must start with a phone call that I made around the spring of 2008, where I spoke live on KFYI Conservative Talk Radio. In that phone call, I spoke of a disruptive patent technology known as a Tesla coil and its ability to give everyone free energy. I also proposed the notion of burning money to protest the government's printing of money and the creation of inflation. In the intelligence community and national security world, this single phone call was equivalent to metaphorically blowing up the airwaves with a call to action against the system. I therefore inadvertently created an unexpected national emergency below the surface of government security clearances and NDAs. I say this because the Fed's debt-based petrodollar is fragile in the presence of such technology, and the entirety of the media apparatus that has carefully and strategically planned through FCC control to ensure that voices and messages like mine on that day do not travel on the FCC's unconstitutionally controlled airwaves. I would argue that this is also a clear form of the government practicing prior restraint on the entire nation's access to information, and therefore further evidence of this current government's unconstitutional legal standing. So he, in the same paragraph, and this is all one paragraph, this is not even like broken up, but the entire document is one paragraph. So he says that he basically started a revolution, but then at the same time, the government didn't allow anyone to hear it. So I'm not exactly certain who are the participants.
Well, the host of the radio and himself. All you need is two people to stand up and you have a revolution. By the way, this right here, to me, I mean, I already thought this guy was a plant. Like, are you serious? You ever gonna have a guy who calls himself QAnon shaman show up wearing like dressed like that on January 6th and become like the face of what that was? Like, that's ridiculous. And I have other reasons to, in my opinion, think that he may have been a plant or maybe a plant. And then he comes out and writes this, which is only going to be used and spun by the media to make the Q movement look crazy.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. I mean, they've already used him to great effect, in regards to that.
And so this is, I don't know. I see no reason to celebrate this.
Maybe that was him in the chat who was saying that
the Intergalactic Federation of
Intergalactic Federation of Pedo Hunters. Yeah. But he says that there's just another section I want to make sure we read. I knew that my stunt on the radio got the government's attention because when they put the segment on KFYI's website, they called the segment Tesla Coil, even though he spoke about Tesla coils. Now, while this may seem insignificant, when you understand that all radio stations and most of their DJs are part of the intelligence community, you know that my call made a national impact. So We have to assume that at a baseline, that if you work at a radio station, you must in fact be a member of the intelligence community. Also, when I attempted to replicate the process elsewhere, other radio stations had their doors metaphorically locked. In addition, I noted that a short time after I pulled that little stunt, the movie The Dark Knight came out. And in that movie, the Joker burned millions of dollars in money and blew up a whole police station with a single well-timed phone call. These seemingly insignificant details will make sense in context as time goes on. And his claim is that he actually wrote The Dark Knight and that somehow they took the story from his computer, and that's how Warner Brothers is implicated in this. A short time later, in the spring of 2009, while I was writing America's Second Declaration of Independence, the U.S. government illegally hacked my computer to observe the words as I typed them over the course of several hours. They knew their surveillance on my private computer was unconstitutional. However, the government never believed they would be caught or that I would lead them into a trap. I will examine the evidence presented in Exhibit A. You will see that the words treason, sedition, and violence are used throughout the document. This purposeful linguistic bait was used to lure the government's national security surveillance software and illegal tracking systems into a trap. These trigger words in the document triggered government national security protocols written into the computer software that I was using, and that's why my screen popped up on a government screen somewhere else without due process. My personal declaration of independence and nonviolent war was declared, but in a way that should have been private and beyond the government's reach without a warrant. I knew the government saw what I wrote on my private computer because the movie Avatar came out a few short months later after I wrote these documents. This also may seem trivial to most. However, the proximity of its release to the writing of the Second Declaration of Independence and the things I said in the Declaration regarding the Native American tribes and their lands cannot be ignored when the main character's name is a former Marine, branch of the Navy, named Jake, who was recruited into a super soldier program. When the government targets an individual, they can and will use the assets at their disposal to triangulate the targeted individual's mind into a personal subjective universe that is controlled by the government. If you examine Exhibits A, 2, and 3, you will see this movie's timed release is significant, as is Michelle Rodriguez's presence in the film and her line, "I was hoping for a tactical plan that didn't involve martyrdom." These seemingly insignificant facts are destined to seem insignificant on their face. But if a person were in the loop on what I had written on my computer a few months prior, those details would stand out to a sharp mind. And when you see the other similar patterns in my journey, you will see the significance of these details. Now we must move forward to the autumn of 2017, when I was writing my book, One Mind at a Time, A Deep State Illusion, and the government, again, was watching my computer. Another violation of Fourth Amendment. And when I was about to publish that book, I was contacted on Facebook by who I thought was Michelle Rodriguez, my celebrity crush. What truly piqued my beliefs in a potential connection was the fact that she said my name in one of her live chats with her fans. She has since deleted that video, but I have more proof of our correspondence. After she said my name in her live chat, I began commenting on her photos with poetry I had written just for her. I then noticed she posted more photos and posted visual images of herself that seemed to be responsive to my poetic comments. So I kept sending her poetry I had written for her, and eventually I received a message from her on Facebook, and I happily accepted it. I do not have proof of this direct correspondence without accessing Facebook's deleted data. However, I do have multiple eyewitness testimonies. The proper context, well, shoot, it seems like it just jumped to a different section, but I feel like that's kind of enough, right?
Yeah, I feel like we passed that line a few pages ago.
But
this just kind of goes to show that it's simultaneously the beauty, one of the beautiful things about the American legal system, and one of the ugly things is that anybody can sue anybody at any point for any reason, anytime. It sucks. It's also kind of cool, but it doesn't mean shit. Like, just because somebody's suing somebody does not mean that they can prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. You know what I mean? Like, this is just like a novel, and he's doing it for publicity, in my opinion, and he's doing it to kind of make the Q community look crazy, and it's unfortunate.
It is really unfortunate, and I don't think that anything that he said in there is something that could be proven in any reasonable sense. I I mean, to me, in all honesty, it appears to have all the hallmarks of somebody who's suffering from some pretty profound mental illness. And it's the type of like pattern recognition that people with schizophrenia fall into. When
You don't think Avatar was about him? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think Avatar was about him. And I don't think it's obvious to anyone. And, you know, someone who thinks that the use of like the name Jake is common. Okay. You know, what else is there? I have also heard him suggest previously that he was a super soldier, which is something that I've seen a number of people suggest that they were super soldiers, but there's never anything that they can point to other than, you know, my testimony is that I'm a super soldier.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a hard one to prove.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I'm not very optimistic about that case ever actually getting litigated in court. Is he asking for a jury trial?
I don't know. I didn't get 40 pages in, but we have to address something in the chat. Candy, who says, I'm willing to give any Badlands content creator $1,000 via a legit cashier's check to dare to conquer the danger of Islam taking over the USA. $1,000 cash. Talk about it, no fear. I have no problem talking, and I would do this whether or not you had mentioned $1,000. But
I mean, I'll take your $1,000 though.
I mean, I will definitely take the $1,000. But on my own program, I've talked about this on many different occasions because I'm from Michigan and I witnessed the takeover of Eastern Michigan by Islam. And even now, Hamtramck used to be like a cool little burg that was where like the Poles lived. And they basically got pushed out when industry and factories shut down in Detroit, and they moved all the Muslims in. And now they're doing the call to prayer at 5 a.m. Islam is incompatible with a constitutional republic. I will say that on record. Sharia law is incompatible with American ideals and values. Islam as a whole is also completely incompatible with the Constitution of the United States. I think that it is a dangerous thing that we have imported as many Muslims as we have and allowed them to take over. I think that they're not the only danger to the United States, but they are certainly among one of the most serious, because what they do is they move enough people in so that they can gain a voting block, and then they can get people elected. And then their goal is ultimately to topple the government that's in power so that they can take over and they can institute Sharia law and whatever it is they want to do. Just take a look at the United Kingdom. Take a look at what they've done in Britain and the struggles and the strife that is going on there right now. You've got, for years, you've had Muslim rape gangs, which have been infiltrating smaller communities because they get into the police department, they become a mayor, they become a city councilman, and then they all protect each other. And it's destroying British society right now. And in certain parts of the United States, they've been destroying as well. Years ago, Candy, I don't know if that this episode is still available on YouTube, but there was a whistleblower that I interviewed who had identified a Muslim terror training camp in the United States. It was called Muslimburg. And the story of that expose was done in like a 2.5-hour interview with Lloyd Goodnow on my account. So,
you know, when it comes to this stuff, I'm much more concerned about the rising population of atheists and agnostics than I am.
That's why I said Muslims are not the only problem.
There was a article that came out a while ago. I don't remember when, but right now it's like Christians is like 60% of the United States, and then the second most popular religion after Christians, which I know has a lot in there, but then it's the Jews at 2%, and then it's I think Islam's after that at like 1%. By 2040, Islam is projected to be the second largest population, at like just over 2.1% or something based on populations and everything. But again, the biggest concern I have, which I want to say it's over 10%, it's something like 11% total, is 5% atheist, 6% agnostic, and those might be switched, and like 30% is like just they don't care, and that includes the atheists and agnostics. That is a much more concerning trend than the Islam, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, they breed like guinea pigs, and they also will marry their cousins.
The atheists?
No, Muslims.
Mm.
Atheists, I think, by very nature of the fact that they're not trying to have children, and I think they're going to breed themselves out. I think that Christianity is on a revival swing right now, and so that, to some degree, will be a counterbalance to the prevailing atheism and lack of ethics and morality that we've seen kind of take over. I think that people are pushing back against that, but at the same time, Christians are not having children at the same rate that they were in the middle of the 20th century, and Muslims are like way more advanced than that.
Yeah,
and
I also think part of that is though economics. Like once we get the economics in this country figured out and sorted out and back to how they should be, which I think and hope Trump will get that taken care of. That will help a lot in terms of the Christian population and the decline that we're seeing. I think that'll turn around the other way.
I agree. I mean, because these people, they come from third world nations, they set up shop, and they have as many kids as they can because they get welfare. And they do the same thing in the UK and all over Europe. And generally speaking, like Americans are not among that mindset. They want to have a stable home life, and they want to be able to provide, and they don't want to be sucking off the government teeth. There are plenty of them who do. And that's generally in major Democrat-run cities. And I just
want real quick. Don't get me wrong. Like I would be totally in favor of a 100% America First immigration policy, where the only way you get into this country is with a gold card. I would be on board with that.
Yeah,
totally. So, I'm not discounting what you said, because I'd much rather see the Christian population and only America First population growing. Period.
So yes, Islam is not really a religion. It's it's like a political ideology. I mean, it's all encompassing. I mean,
Muslims and
but yes, I personally would like to shut down the immigration system altogether. I think that the only people who should be able to come here are the gold card holders, people who are going to be investing money and giving Americans jobs. I saw people in the YouTube chat also saying Asian rape gangs. Asian rape gangs is a term that they used so that people wouldn't automatically put it together with the fact that they were Muslims. And they're not, you think Asian and people are thinking like, Vietnam, China, Japan, but we're talking about, like Central Asia, Pakistani, those types of Asians. And those people are Muslims. So
don't say Judeo-Christians. You're going to get Ghost all hot and bothered.
I didn't.
Not you, somebody in the chat. Dickhead 12 did. Ghost, that was your cue. Anyway, what time is it?
It's midnight.
Oh, perfect. Great timing.
Yeah,
man. Let's read the boost real quick. Actually, we do have one more sponsor. We'll do that.
Okay.
Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you give us a follow. We have a lot of great content over here. Hit that thumbs up. Do us that favor. We're gonna get a quick word from our final sponsor, and then we'll do the boosts and the rants, and we'll get you guys out of here. Ghost says, "Dickhead, don't be a dickhead."
They say confidence starts with a smooth skin. And baby, Soft Disclosure Lotion delivers.
I swear by this stuff. Like, I kid you guys not. This is the first lotion I've ever had in my entire life that, like, I don't get ashy after I put it on any part of my body. Like, my hands are always dry, and my hands have not gotten ashy without, like, rinsing them through water and washing them with soap since I started putting Soft Disclosure on. Like, it is Black Man approved. I kid you not.
Black Man approved. You heard him. And let's be real. If it can handle his hands, it can handle anything.
Feet are like, they get so dry, like the heels of them, it'll just kind of like flake off. Like, but with Soft Disclosure, once you put it on, like it starts to absorb it.
Yeah, he went there. Don't worry, we won't show you his feet, but trust us, they're smoother too. Soft Disclosure Lotion is made with aloe, goat's milk, honey, and our exclusive oil blend that actually restores your skin barrier. Visit softdisclosure.com. Use code Badlands and get 15% off.
Oh, they took out my Soft Disclosure whisper at the end. That was my favorite part.
There was no need to have it after the velvety, dulcet tones of Alpha.
Yeah, Black Man approved. I mean, how many things can say that?
Yeah,
Probably
I need more Soft Disclosure, so I'm gonna be reaching out. I actually got some covert products to try out over the weekend.
What does that mean?
Well, I got some beard oil.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. There was there were two different. There were supposed to be three different, I guess, formulations to try, but there were only two in there, and it like makes my mustache gold. Like Lisa loved it, absolutely loved it.
Why? What about it?
Well, she liked the smell. She also liked the way that it looked. I mean, the fact that it just like made it pop.
This is a future soft disclosure product, correct?
Yes, it is a future soft disclosure project.
So stay tuned, everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, softdisclosure.com. Softdisclosure.com. Make sure, we are bringing out the beard oil very soon. Oh, I guess I don't want to put a time frame on it because I don't know that for sure, but soon-ish. Let's get to some boosts real quick if we got any. Oh, but before we even do that, we got our next event coming up soon. I guess soon-ish. November 6th to the 9th, Badlands Media is going to be coming to the great state of Florida. We're going to be having our Great American Restoration Tour in Cocoa Beach. These things are awesome. These conferences are great. I'd encourage you to attend if you are able to. And if you can't, we'll have more coming up next year. But the virtual tickets should be on sale here soon as well. So stay tuned for that. But badlandsmedia.tv/events. And don't forget to find your local Badlanders group and attend one of these awesome meetups. We got so many going on. It's so cool to see. But yeah, let's check the boost page. Badlands.tv boosts. Come on. There we go. 1027JS for $20 says, hi guys.
What up?
Hey Joe, fellow North Dakotan. Oops. Let's see if we got any more. What's the date on that? Okay. Zayneth says, these fanatics will throw rocks at cars if you drive by. Wait, I need to find, there's two of them here. Do these in order. $3. I'm Jewish. I lived in Israel. There's a general divide, religious, Charedi versus secular. Often they clash. Among the religious, there are subsects of fanatics. They'll spit on anyone not as fanatical as them. Other Jews, Israelis, not just foreigners. These fanatics will throw rocks at cars if you drive on the Sabbath, forbidden. They're draft dodgers, and many don't believe in the official state of Israel. Look up Naturi Karta. For religious reasons, I'm not easily offended. I can be your AMA Jew.
I love it.
You need to send us an email or something. I would love an AMA Jew.
Yeah. And it's an excellent example of how, the various subsects that we have around the world are not like homogenous, not universally believing exactly the same things.
Yeah. And then we got KC Mom, who says, KC Mom for $17, was the 2000 election debacle over the hanging chads orchestrated by the deep state to force electronic election equipment to control future voting outcomes?
It absolutely was.
It absolutely does. And I think we got those last week. So that's awesome. We got all those. And we got a couple Rumble rants as well. So thank you for everybody giving rants and boosts. We appreciate you. Kilo Higgins, favorite Erica Kirk conspiracy theory issue is really John Benet Ramsey. Topped the Alex Jones Hitler mustache show last week.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Miller Biz, 5 million people live in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. I am not a Fed.
That sounds like something a Fed would say.
It does. Harry Vetch, the initially amount of blood, if real, is fatal. Nothing else needed.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm basing my opinion on. And to be clear, I'm not going to trash anybody for saying that they think it was anything else. I mean, my opinions are my own. I am only responsible for those opinions. Yep. I don't expect anybody else to be.
Dan writes 717. Hey guys, regarding Charlie Kirk, please check these two links quick in order below. I really love your guys' specific explanation. So this is the first one.
Let's check it.
I'll check it and see if it's good enough to share.
Somebody sent me a Cash App donation and said Tittygate.
Oh yeah, that was so funny, by the way. If you guys haven't seen that, so I had a meme template of Bibi Netanyahu.
I saw it.
Or whatever. It was awesome. Posted that thing on there. It's so funny. Video he sent, the first one was this. This is what we kind of already went over. And the second one Dan Wright sent this. I think this is a Almost knocks the table over on him. Pulls something from his back pocket. Oh, he's saying he grabbed something.
I mean, it's happening so fast, and it's not clear enough, and it's dark. I mean, something is obviously happening there, but I don't feel comfortable saying like he clearly handed something off.
Yeah, I'd like to see more videos and more video angles. We'll see. I mean, over the coming weeks, days, months, whatever, like we're gonna keep getting more conspiracy theories. Some of them will prove to be something, some won't. Is what it is. And on 1028, watch the music video. She's My Kind of Crazy. Emerson Drive. Tell me that ain't Erica's Zipline. The num 2910.
Okay, so we looked at that. Yeah.
B1 Car, have you seen the smash zip gun theory on YouTube from Toy Soldier in 1985? It's very intriguing. I think Tyler had a blank and actually thinks he was a shooter, but it isn't really the shooter.
So I haven't seen this, but that's actually something I suggested a while ago. I mean, it's entirely possible that he did. He may think that he actually did shoot him, but again, he hasn't actually admitted it. I mean, he's basically been mute up until this point, and from what I understand, he hasn't made any statements to authorities. I don't know about a zip gun though.
Yeah. B7, I will check that video out though. B7478. If Lee Harvey Oswald had survived, would he have been able to prove his innocence with the help of hundreds of witnesses who were there at Dealey Plaza?
Well, I mean, not necessarily from, the help of witnesses at Dealey Plaza. I mean, he wasn't actually even in the building at the time that the shot was taken. I mean, he was in a movie, and he had been walking around. The CIA also had a number of Lee Harvey Oswald lookalikes as well that were going and doing things publicly and identifying themselves as Lee Harvey Oswald. Sort of like flooding the zone, if you will, with misinformation. And I think we do see a lot of that with this as well.
I would agree. Keith O'Higgins, I still think the autopsy is the key. Even homeless people get autopsies. Oh, wait, you don't get an autopsy if you're a Supreme Court Justice, Anthony Scalia, or are really important. I don't think that's true. I think everybody's saying that he didn't get an autopsy, but nobody's actually confirmed that.
Well, so I can tell you that Utah law dictates that an autopsy must be given in a situation where foul play is suggested, and the doctor at the hospital declared him deceased, and then he was basically taken to the hospital morgue, so no autopsy would have been performed that night. And that's why they say on the radio no autopsy was performed, because he would have to be transferred to the medical examiner's office, which did happen the next day. Utah law, we're told. But I mean, just looking at what the law is in Utah, he had to be transferred to the ME. The autopsy would have been done there. The law also states that you have to get the body prepared for burial as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I wish the FBI had like a suggestion box where you could like submit some of these conspiracy theories, because that one right there is an easy one. They can come out and be like, yes, he did have an autopsy, like, and debunk that. But instead, they don't comment on it. We hardly get anything, and these conspiracies just run wild.
Yeah, but then they comment on the plane on more than one occasion, basically telling us that there's nothing to see there.
Well, I wonder if there was like a potential lawsuit or something from that guy. From all
could have been.
Deborah Stars, John, Jake is a cousin 2 times removed from our family. He's a sweetheart and a patriot, bit of an innocent. Have you met him? How many times have you met him? I have questions. I don't know if I ever got that email from you, by the way. My email was on one of the last episodes.
Wait, are we talking about Jacob Chansley?
Chansley, yeah.
Okay.
Melindy, simply to stir the pot in the friendliest of ways. Christians do not hold the sole claim of good people. Cheers.
No, they don't.
No, they certainly do not.
No.
I would agree with that. Thank you, Melindy. H.R. Blamond says, the more I find out about Erica, didn't know anything about her. Me neither. I wonder if their marriage was real, or was she his handler? There are questions that could be asked.
Yep.
Could be, could not be.
Yep.
I feel like we may find out as time goes on. We'll see. That's all we got, man. So That was fun. Hope you all enjoyed that discussion tonight. Zach, when will you be on next?
I'll be live tomorrow at 5 p.m. on my channel, as I am Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Awesome. And I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Daily Herald here on Badlands. So make sure you guys tune into that. And with that, we'll get out of here. You guys have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.